Hey there, I'm Corey. I'm one of the co-founders of MassDriver. We've been working on open sourcing the core of our platform that we're going to be releasing probably sometime in early to mid. Oh, sorry, yeah, like maybe end of April. I don't know. We're software developers. We're all bad at estimating shit. Anywho, I wanted to show you what we've been working on. It is a packaging and distribution tool for infrastructure as code and all the related tools that kind of go in the space. So what we've seen in talking to a lot of our customers is they're working with Terraform, Pulumi, Helm, Ansible, some IAC tool, and then they're working on using OPA, checkov, tfscan, tfsec, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, snyk. And when they start to kind of deliver self-service to their engineers all of a sudden have this burden of either adding a little bit of Terraform here and there to their Git repos when they make queues or databases or whatever, like is their applications infrastructure versus what we would consider like the systems architecture, like networks and clusters and whatnot. And then they kind of are responsible for copying CI pipelines, or your DevOps team is responsible for copying CI pipelines to run the Terraform and the Helm and the tfsec and the checkov and whatnot. And so at the heart of MassDriver is this really interesting packaging interface that we've developed that lets you kind of pack all of your tooling into this single deliverable and then execute it. And it feels very much like you're kind of like running a Docker image. So I wanted to show you guys how this works today. So I've got two screens here. I've got the left side, which is my operator's view, and then the right side, which is my developer's view. So I'm just sitting in a repo right now. It's got some Terraform in it, some checkoff policies, configuration for infra cost, and I'm going to go ahead and push this up to my registry. And so now on the developer side, I can list all the different Terraform modules or IAC modules that are available to us. And what's really cool is the developers, I don't have to learn any of this tooling. And as the operator, I didn't have to learn anything new. I literally just use this command that feels very much like Docker to kind of build and push this deliverable. So now as a developer, I'm looking at all the stuff that's exposed to me. I can see that there's a couple of very custom packages here that are built for my business. And I can also see maybe like the official AWS Aurora Postgres module. And if I want to go ahead and see what that is, I can say, info on Acme billing database. I can see that this is private bundle. It's EC2 based PostgreSQL with PG crypto and timescale DB. It's going to use Terraform, checkov, and infra cost. And then I've also got this concept of presets, which allows me as an operator to say, hey, I want to give you control. I want to give you a little bit of the ability to fine tune your database, but I also want to give you presets so you don't have to worry about like the whole thing, right? I shouldn't have to make you worry about zones, high availability, instance types when you just need Postgres. And so now as a developer, I can just kind of run this thing, MD apply, Acme billing database, give it a name, tell it my preset, and even give it a little configuration. And as a developer, I don't have to learn Terraform. I didn't have to learn checkov. I don't have to learn infra cost. I didn't have to copy any of this Terraform into any of my application repos. I didn't have to copy anything to my CI pipeline. As a matter of fact, the only thing that goes into my CI pipeline is this little command to say what piece of infrastructure is important to my application. And then you can even see it generated some artifacts here. In this case, it's created some Postgres authentication that is now going to be available to my application when I deploy it. And then coming back over to the operator side, I feel like you frequently have this problem where it's like, build a bunch of Terraform modules, and I've published them maybe to a central Git repo. My developers have been using them, but it's like, who's using this Acme billing database? And so I can run this, and I can see there's 4 instances of it running right now. I've got a prod version, a staging version. I got a couple of them that have been instantiated from some pull requests, 13 and 14. And now I want to see I need to do an audit on some infrastructure. Maybe something is failing compliance for some reason. I need to track down some ARNs or whatnot. I can kind of do MD inventory and then give it the slug name here. And I'm able to see all the actual resources that were created by this infrastructure bundle. So hope this is exciting to you. This is something we're kind of putting out there. It's the core of MassDriver. We want to be able to contribute back to the community. This is something that we're constantly seeing with some of our more mature like operations and DevOps teams that they're struggling with. They just kind of got these pipelines and tools all over the place. Just this big sprawl. Developers are constantly learning operations tools and not spending time focusing on the business. And what's really nice about this is now you have this central way of managing all of your IAC and IAC adjacent stuff. If I want to update the version of Terraform or switch from Terraform to OpenTofu, or maybe I want to change some OPA policies or checkoff policies on this database, I can actually do it right here in this repo, just repush it, And now when my developers run this again, they didn't have to copy new CI pipelines. They didn't have to bump versions. They didn't have to copy Rego files or anything like that. I'm literally able just to kind of distribute this out to everybody. So this is what we've been working on. If you're interested in being a part of this, we're starting to add people to a private Git repo so they can kind of start playing with it and give us some feedback. The goal is to open source it, sometime in April. So I hope you think it's cool. And if you don't, also reach out to me and tell me why it's not. Thanks. Bye.